This woman should have been screened from the beginning. She was a young single, I think she was a young single black woman, but she's extremely charismatic. She knew how to rile the people up, and she talked with a whole she made a bunch of promises but had little substance behind the things that she was running off of, and people gravitated to her because she's got that kind of charisma about her that makes you want to follow behind her. But she successfully made herself the hero, the victim, and the persecutor, which is the purest forms of narcissistic traits. And this Dolton County, they're getting exactly, I don't want to say they deserve it, but if you can't vet your rising political figures, if you don't know how to correctly gauge somebody's character and look for people of integrity, look for people that have sound knowledge and wisdom inside of the areas of politics, then you're gonna run into a Tiffany Henyard who's
Henyard has become embroiled in scandals involving allegations of financial mismanagement, corruption, fraud, and other misconduct. She has been at odds with the majority of the village board of trustees. In early 2024, the Illinois Attorney General office began scrutinizing Henyard's activities as mayor in her nonprofit organization. Mayor Henyard has been described as one of the most corrupt small-town mayors in the United States by those who live in Dolton. She allegedly has corrupted the entire police force to be used as a private security force for herself and uses them to retaliate against her perceived political enemies, including city small businesses. The police force has been alleged to provide her 24 hours a day, leading to a massive overtime bills for police officers assigned to her security. As of April 19, 2024, the FBI has entered the Dolton City Hall to reserve subpoenas for records related to the alleged corruption by members of the town government. Also at this time, the city of Dolton is said to be several $1 million in the red due to the leadership of Mayor Henyard.
But let's talk about Tiffany Henyard, the notorious mayor and supervisor of Thornton Township. Allegedly, she's going through a lot of problems. The first issue happened when Andrew Holmes got arrested for doing this.
There is some new fallout tonight to a story we've been following closely out of South Suburban Dolton. Mayor Tiffany Henyard's former assistant and a Dolton police officer have both filed a civil lawsuit against the mayor and trustee Andrew Holmes. Much of that lawsuit centered on what allegedly happened on a business trip to Las Vegas last May.
Then after which, Keith Freeman went down for this.
Several high-level officials in South Suburban Dolton facing a rush of lawsuits and investigations. Federal prosecutors accuse Keith Freeman of making false statements in his bankruptcy petition. Freeman currently serves as village administrator and as municipality manager of Thornton Township.
And then out of the blue, this happened.
And we are following breaking news out of Dolton, the FBI serving subpoenas. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Dawn Hasbrook.
I'm Scott Schneider. We want to start with breaking news tonight. The FBI, as Dawn just mentioned, serving subpoenas in Dolton.
Let's get right to Elizabeth Matthews at the Village Hall, where 4 agents were this afternoon. Elizabeth.
So then they showed up to the village of Dolton. Then they came here.
Potential trouble tonight for Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Fox 32 has learned that FBI agents served subpoenas on Friday at the Thornton Township Hall in South Holland, where Henyard is also serving as township supervisor. Now, we don't know yet what the FBI is asking for in those subpoenas. Last week, we broke the news that the FBI had served 2 subpoenas on the village of Dolton, asking for the personnel and disciplinary files of 29 Dolton employees, as well as any contracts and payments made to Henyard's top assistant, Keith Freeman, who also serves in that role at Thornton Township. The subpoenas also revealed that a federal grand jury has been investigating allegations of corruption surrounding Henyard and others since November of last year.
So I'm just putting all of those things into perspective because it shows a pattern of what's going on. Seems like they're doing a pretty decent job of trying to build a case. But hold on, wait, there is more. Play that clip!
Fox 32 has obtained copies of the 2 federal subpoenas served on Thornton Township on Friday. And there are 2 big takeaways. Tiffany Henyard is clearly a target of the criminal investigation, and that investigation is growing.
Overall, it tells me that the investigation is expanding. It's not just focusing on the city of Dolton.
Former FBI agent Ross Rice says the subpoenas revealed the burgeoning scope of the federal criminal investigation into Thornton Township Supervisor and Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. One subpoena focuses entirely on Henyard, including a restaurant and a property management company, as well as Henyard's political fund and the charity bearing her name. It asks for all records, including personnel files, wage and tax statements, time and attendance, records of work performed, contracts, and checks written to cash.
The mayor and the township supervisor, who are one and the same, appear to be the primary focus of the investigation.
The second subpoena requests a kitchen sink of township records, including financial reports, budgets, payroll records, and ordinances covering credit card purchases, expense reimbursements, security details, and the use of vehicles. Mayor Officer Young put in for 303 hours in a 2-week period. 303 hours. Fox 32 has reported extensively about Henyard's use of a police security detail, which police say has hampered their ability to fight crime. You need security to protect you from questions from reporters? The subpoena also asks for payments and credit card expenditures for a number of township employees, including Henyard's top lieutenant Keith Freeman, some township trustees, and Henyard's boyfriend, who runs the township's youth violence prevention program.
Hey y'all, this is Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Supervisor Henyard, the people supervisor.
The subpoena also focuses township travel, including a story first reported by Fox 32 and the Illinois Answers Project about a trip Henyard took to Springfield in 2022 with Dolton and Thornton Township employees, ostensibly to raise money for a cancer charity in her name. We wondered who was paying for all of this, and so are the feds, who ask for records of municipal resources being used on behalf of Friends of Tiffany Henyard, her political fund, and charitable organizations, including the Tiffany Cares Foundation, which involved a $10,000 donation of taxpayers' money made by the township.
It's very broad in the scope. It's very broad in the number of people and entities they're asking for records on. So there must be some serious allegations of wrongdoing that they're trying to get to the bottom of.
It's the second round of federal subpoenas. On April 20th, 4 FBI agents served a pair of subpoenas on the village of Dolton, asking for the personnel files of 29 employees.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Stephanie Wiedemann is a former township employee turned whistleblower who's been helping the FBI in its investigation.
What do we want? Our township back!
Over the weekend, she took part in a rally of Thornton Township residents calling on Henyard to resign. Wiedemann says the latest subpoenas are a welcome sign.
I hope that the township finds a way to be able to recoup the damage that has been done. But I hope that the people that did the damage, I mean, there's repercussions for making bad decisions.
All right, let's go to get into it. The Tiffany Henyard saga continues. They want their township back. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with you first, Trev. How did that make you feel? I know it's not your town, but it's political news.
No, so yeah, after watching a couple seconds of the clip, I actually realized who you was talking about. Her demise started with her social media. She was going hard on social media at one point in time, and when she started doing that, that's what brought all the attention that she wanted. She wanted the attention. She wanted the fame. But, you know, when you making moves like that, then, yeah, you're eventually going to get caught. Once you become high profile, you have to be very careful what you're doing with the town's money because people are going to start digging in. They're going to want to see receipts, and that's what happened. She was taking, like, the security detail, like, on vacation with her and stuff, if I remember correctly. It was really wild. Like, she was abusing that system. They had some ungodly numbers of overtime for a while. So it was complete misuse of the force, you know, funds, I guess you could say, embezzlement, all kinds of things that she was doing. And she got away with it for quite a while. She had a nice run. But once she started getting popping on social media, then people start paying attention. Like, whoa, how is she doing this? How is she making all this bread? Like, how has she got security all the time? Like, because mayor's salary isn't usually that much, but it never really needs to be. This is actually common practice for most people who know about, like, if they've ever been behind the scenes and know how mayors really get down. Unfortunately, in major cities, of course, this is just what they do. Those contracts and everything, like, it's a money making business. That's politics for you, though. Like, we can't behave as if this doesn't go all the way up to the top, right? Even including presidents. Everyone does this, but the problem is people have to understand how to move. When you making moves, it's almost like the dude who's a D-boy, but then he just buying all the biggest cars, and the best type of money to make is quiet money. That's the problem. People don't know how to shut up. When you're doing dirt, you got to be quiet about it. If that's what you're going to do, just take it easy. Like, be behind the scenes, be in the shadows. Seriously, if that's how you move, I'm not encouraging anyone to move like this. But if that's what you're going to do, regardless, be quiet. Shut up. Go on vacation without the cameras. Stop throwing parties. Stop showing off. That's the problem. That's what makes me angry about it, is because you could have got away with it. But no, you want everybody to know you out here balling. You want to flex. When we start flexing, that's when we get in trouble. Shut up sometimes. She really could have just kept it going. But all in all, it's a horrible thing, but that's politics. I'm kind of numb to it right now because I've seen it. I know a couple politicians. I certainly won't name any names, but I can tell you right now, in most cases, politicians are dirty. That's how you make your money. If you're looking at this, ain't nothing. This is like on a smaller scale. You just follow the money. Nancy Pelosi's gotten away with way worse. Way worse. She's taken millions and they never lose her position, never had no problems, none of that. There's a bunch of people who do this, right? Like, they trade according to bills that are about to pass that they know. These people are all corrupt, man. Well, I don't want to say all, but most of them are corrupt. And that's just the culture. Politics is just corrupt. When you infuse politics in anything, like we were talking about before, you put it in the church, now your church is bad. And no matter what you infuse politics into, it's going to be nasty. That's just the nature of the business. And we could sit here and act like, oh, damn, look, this is crazy. This is commonplace. This is just what goes down. The only thing that she did differently was be loud about it. I'll leave it there for now.
Hey, Trey, don't you think you're being a little bit too hard on her?
No, absolutely not. And like I said, if that's how you're going to move, just shut up. That's what you get. You wanted the attention, and now you got it. You wanted them to pull a curtain back, and now they did. And this is what you're going to get. And whatever consequences come behind it, it is what it is, because you shouldn't be doing that. People are paying their hard-earned money, right? We are overtaxed. I live in New Jersey. We get taxed into oblivion. Bad, real bad, like the worst. I'm sick of paying taxes. And then when you see your tax dollars that should be giving out resources, it should be helping children, should be helping people who are less fortunate. It should be helping take these potholes out of the street. It's not doing that. Paying details so you can walk around with 5 security guards for nothing, right? Because you don't want to pay for your own detail, even though you had the bread. The problem for me, you can't be too hard on somebody. When you're taking everybody's money and misusing it, yeah, she going to get whatever she get, man.
All right. I'm going to go to you, Ruth. What are your thoughts about it? The Tiffany Henyard saga continues.
It's so sad. You know, pride comes before the fall. She was just prideful, boastful, and like Trev said, I agree with him. But I'm not surprised either. I'm surprised how much they can get away with, and nobody does anything about it. Sometimes we think we could do what other people do, and what O'Shea usually say, they get their black card or something, their Negro wake up call, right? You can't stop doing what you see other people do it. They're gonna come for you, and they're not highlighting a wonderful black mayor. They're gonna highlight the nastiest and expose everything about you. So yeah, back to race again. Thank you for making us look bad and making us look like we're criminals. But they're not going to plaster. If it's somebody white, they're not plastering all of these details on the news. They're just not. They'll put a little article in the back, but now she's going to be on front page. It's going to look like we cannot be trusted. to be mayor. So she'll get, hopefully she gets everything she deserves, because you're stealing people money, not doing anything for the community. You know, you're doing all these things and want to be fly with somebody else's money. And one day people are going to realize that it is our money that we pay into. So.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to you, Nelson. What are your thoughts about it?
The main thing that I always talk about in these spaces is dealing with people that have extreme narcissistic traits. This woman should have been screened from the beginning. She was a young single, I think she was a young single black woman, but she's extremely charismatic. She knew how to rile the people up, and she talked with a whole, she made a bunch of promises but had little substance behind the things that she was running off of, and people gravitated to her because she's got that kind of charisma about her that makes you want to follow behind her. But she successfully made herself the hero, the victim, and the persecutor, which is the purest forms of narcissistic traits. And this Dolton County, they're getting exactly, I don't want to say they deserve it, but if you can't vet your rising political figures, if you don't know how to correctly gauge somebody's character and look for people of integrity, look for people that have sound knowledge and wisdom inside of the areas of politics, then you're gonna run into a Tiffany Henyard who's a small town, and she's over there flaunting like she's a celebrity, going and taking trips and giving herself $200,000 salaries, but anybody else that comes and takes the position, their max salary was only like something like 20,000, something so crazy that discouraged anybody else from wanting to run against her. She's shaking people down, making businesses contribute to her causes, or she shuts them down. Like, she was acting like a real like mafia boss or something. Like, this is something they could have avoided all of this by simply having a conversation with this woman and hearing the crazy come out of her mouth.
All right. Go ahead and go to you, Shan Monet. Okay, I got it. I got a feeling no matter when I call you.
I was trying to read the qualifications, what you have to, have to qualify to be mayor. It's from what I see, 18 years of age is on there. I don't think that they're asking for much to be able to run for mayor. So, at least in Georgia, I looked up Georgia. So that it itself speaks volumes, right? But, I would have to agree with, I think it was Trev who said, he said it all. He took every word and, everything that I could possibly say and just, said it. I think that a lot of people do this, and, not me, because I'm running for mayor soon. I didn't want to tell y'all that, but I will be. But I didn't know you get $20,000 though. I may have to, okay. But anyway, sorry. I think that politicians do things like this. I don't know why people are, surprised. How many times have we seen politicians on the news for the exact same thing she's doing? I think the only difference is, you're right, it's everywhere. She's doing too much of the selfie stuff, So, what can we expect? It's mayor. Even the presidency is a joke nowadays. So, it's just the standards have been lowered all across.